Hello traders, welcome back to another Funded Trading Plus trader interview. Today I got the privilege of speaking with our trader Craig. He is trading on our Master Trader program and has been doing exceptionally well. Not only did I get the privilege of asking him a lot of questions about his trading career and how he got here in this moment, we also got to see him break down some trades that he is currently in. So don't miss out, sit back, relax and enjoy another Funded Trading Plus trader interview. Hi Craig, welcome to Funded Trading Plus. Could you just start off by introducing yourself, a little bit about how you got into trading, why you got into trading, and how you eventually got into trading with Funded Trading Plus?
So I probably got into trading really beginning of this year, so about 6 months or so ago. So it's still very early in my trading journey. For me, I was looking ahead and I was like, well, if I, figured out a way to accelerate my investment returns, and then, I could actually potentially retire at a reasonable age. Whereas, currently I was not on track really to do that. So I was looking to figure some of those things out. So that's kind of where I got into trading initially. It's kind of thought process. And then once I got into it, of course, I caught the bug basically. And so I am self-employed. I'm still doing my day job, but since I am self-employed, it does give me the option to, kind of figure out how to spend my time and to spend some time trading. So it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, amazing. And obviously when we share our screen later, we'll see that you're actually in some trades at the moment. So hopefully all goes well and we can get through these quick fire questions.
Sketchy right now.
Yeah. No, we'll get to it. I think what we'll do, we'll start off with some quick fire questions, and then at the end of the round, if there's still some unanswered questions, I might dig a little bit deeper. But we'll start off with Craig with what is your favorite trading pair?
SPX is my number one.
Yeah, nice. And I also noticed you trade a little bit of gold, is that right?
Well, yeah, I have been trading. So my three main ones have been of late have been gold, SPX, or the S&P 500, whatever you call it on the platform here, and then the some Bitcoin. Looking at Ethereum a bit now, but Bitcoin, gold, and SPX are the main ones.
Awesome. And what style of trading do you fall into? Are you a scalper, swing trader, intraday? What would you class yourself as?
Yeah, mostly, I'd say kind of a multi-day trader. I think my average trade length is like 26 hours or something. And so generally kind of looking to trade the daily chart, maybe using some of the smaller time frames for entries. And I will do, I'll do some smaller, intraday trades. But a lot of the times those end up being what I call DLTs, which are dumb little trades. So trying to cut back on those and stick with more of the well thought out ones, I guess.
Yeah, nice one. I'll keep that DLT in my brain. I'll have to use that in the future one day and remind everybody who came up with it. Awesome. And then, what is your go-to risk to reward on like a trade? Do you go into a trade expecting to risk X amount to make like double back, or do you have sort of like a strategy around that?
Yeah, so my default is 1-to-1 risk to reward. I do often like to move my stop loss to break even once I'm 50% of my initial profit target, something like that. And I'm trying to get better at generally my theory is I don't want to actually close out of a trade. I want to move my stop loss tight if I think I'm about there. And so practicing, trying to let ones run a little longer. But I figure, if I start out 1-to-1, I've got essentially a 50% chance of winning the trade, regardless of the setup, essentially, right? And then from there, trying to move into a bit better return on it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love your thought process there. Have you always been that systematic in your thinking, or when you first started, would you sort of aim for the larger risk to rewards kind of thing? I know you've brought it down a bit back to the 1-to-1.
Yeah, no, it's been a process, I say, but I was influenced by listening to Adam Grimes and also just some other people talking about how your ratio is always going to determine your probability, right? Like they're always going to be tied together, and so there's not a right and a wrong answer necessarily on risk to reward. but you need to find something that works for your psychology, and just understanding that the math, how the math works in terms of win rate and risk to reward are so interconnected. So once I understood that better, then I was like, okay, yeah, well, at least in some of my early difficulties, blowing prop firm challenges and stuff, was kind of scratching my head, and I was like, okay, well, if I go 1-to-1, I got a 50% chance. I shouldn't have huge drawdowns. I should be able to make this work. So
that's really good systematic thought process there. And while we're just on the risk, is there like a certain amount that you risk per trade? If so, like, is it always fixed? Does it change depending on like a setup for you?
Yeah, so I kind of have a default. I'm trading a very small account right now, and so I'm usually taking a pretty small position size. So like I'll have typically kind of just like a normal, like I'll risk $50, let's say, on a trade, and then sometimes I will move that stop loss tighter, especially if it's a smaller intraday trade or something like that, where I think, well, this is a level, and so I'm gonna, like, if it breaks to this level, that kind of invalidates the trade. So I will adjust some, but my default run-of-the-mill basic trade is just a $50 risk, and then see if I can go for a $50 profit, and maybe I can let it run, maybe get $100 out of it.
Yeah, amazing. I think one of the things that flagged you up on our system was just how well you've been managing risk. We'll take a look at your account a little bit later on, but the risk management you've really got nailed down. I think that is, in my opinion, like half the battle in trading, is just managing your risk. So this is something you've done extremely well, and something that we'll highlight again in a little bit. Bit of a weird question. What do you prefer? Do you prefer bull markets or bear markets, or are you not really too bothered about longing and shorting?
I do like to use kind of some macro in my trading as well to kind of be a bias. So yes, I've been mostly trading long lately because my macro view is that most of the assets I'm trading are bullish in general. And usually I'm looking for a pullback to be able to get it. It's kind of my best trade. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What's your stance on news trading? Do you like taking part in news, or do you avoid trading news completely?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with trading news necessarily. I think it offers some good volatility potentially. And that's one of the things I do like about Funded Trader Plus, is that on the master plan I am able to do that. So yeah, for me, I didn't want to have a prop firm where I had to worry that whoops, I got too close to the news and I blew my account or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm open to trading the news.
Awesome, really, really good. And then, bit of a different question: when you go to the charts for the first time in a day, whether that's the morning or sort of like pre-market, what's the first thing you're looking for? Like, what are you analysing? What are you hoping that stands out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably, my ideal setup, is something to where, okay, so first thing I'm doing is probably looking at the daily chart, most likely, and kind of seeing what the trend is looking like. Do I have a red day, a little bit of a pullback, so where I might have a good buying opportunity to get some movement. Obviously with my account here on, with the master account, my trades get closed out at the weekend. So I'm kind of trying to find that balance of like the best entry versus, trying to get in for something most weeks, to be able to get some, get some profit before the weekends.
Yeah, awesome. And a bit earlier on, you mentioned that you're still working full time, you're self-employed, and then you're managing the trading on the side and trying to manage that sort of time that you've got. What do you do to recharge, get away from the charts? Obviously living a really busy life and trying to build the trading up as you are doing. What do you actually do to get some downtime and to relax, essentially?
Well, maybe I need to work on getting some more downtime. I do. One of my hobbies is pickleball, so that gives me some good physical exercise, which helps kind of keep things in balance. I've got a large family. I've got 6 kids, and so there's usually things are happening around the house and whatever. And so yeah, so probably my family is a big part of kind of keeping me anchored, and keeping things in balance.
Yeah, awesome. 6 kids, that must be a busy life, Craig. Must be a busy life. Right, if you could go back to when you first started trading and you could sort of tell yourself one piece of advice to really cut out a lot of the learning curve, the steep learning curve that most traders face when they start trading. Is there anything that stands out that you tell yourself when that first day you started looking to trading?
I've probably wasted too much time on trying to find hacks for trading, probably. And so probably I could have saved myself some time if I had said, okay, look, there's probably not a great hack that I'll find, but if I can just work on developing my skill right out of the gate, then that's probably going to pay dividends the fastest.
Yeah, awesome piece of advice. I think everybody goes through that, don't they, where they think there's the holy grail somewhere that should be able to solve things. But no, that's awesome piece of advice, Craig. And before we move on to having a quick look at your platform, what's been your favourite Funded Trading Plus feature that you've sort of come across while trading with us?
As far as the platform itself, or in terms of the way that the account is structured?
Just anything about us, really. Yeah, anything from signing up to where you are now. Is there anything good that stood out or bad from day one with us, really?
Yeah, well, one of the things I like about Funded Trading Plus in general is that your approach seems to be kind of a live and let live approach, in which you're not looking to put on lots of random rules for the fun of it, but you try to keep it as open as you reasonably can in terms of your rules. Now, obviously, since I'm trading instant accounts, obviously, you have some fairly strict rules, but even those are really a lot better than a lot of companies, as far as a lot of companies have consistency rules, things that just make it really tough when you're a beginning trader to be able to get any kind of withdrawals. It's often you're blowing the account before you get there. And so with the Funded Trader Master account, I know, hey, if I make a small amount this week, I can pull that out at the end of the week. I'm not waiting to get 6 successful trades of that exact size before I can pull money out. So that is one of the big things I like.
Yeah, really, really good, Craig. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. I don't want to take too much of your time, but what we'll do, we'll just quickly pause and then head over to your trading platform and take a look at these trades and see if they're still running. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, welcome back. Thank you, Craig, for waiting for me. We're on your actual trading account right now. So, funnily enough, you've got a few trades open. You've got a couple of SPX 500 trades and a gold trade as well. Instead of me asking you questions, maybe you could just sort of run us through your current thought process, why you're in these trades, and maybe give the viewers some description of what you're up to right now.
Yeah. So yesterday we had CPI, and so we got a terrific bump from that. So the one SPX trade, my one that's in profit, I was able to get that trade started just before CPI came out. So that'd be an example, I guess, of trading some news there. So that ripped immediately. So that was great. Now, as we can see, it's now getting close to getting stopped out there. So that level, obviously is probably not holding there. It's probably going to get taken out. Could it be tempting here to put that stop loss down a little bit, let it run a little bit, but that, at some point, you're just giving up all your profit on the trade, right? So, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. I did take some trades this morning. Think we'd get a little bit more of a, I was thinking that we'd be going up before we came down as much, I guess. But anyway, so this morning's not been a tremendously successful kind of scalping morning. Probably some of those trades falling more into the DLT section. Gold, I've got a gold trade on. I'm kind of long-term bullish on gold. Probably should have picked a better spot to get into it. So that one's kind of just been going up and down a little bit. Got a fairly small position size. So I've not gotten stopped out on it yet. So, maybe I'll get back into a little bit of profit before, after a while here. We'll see how it ends up this weekend.
Yeah, awesome. No, I wouldn't say this SPX trade falls in the DLT. I think this is an absolute great trade, to be honest with you. Right in before the news candle, you've actually captured a huge move here. You held overnight. You carried that position into today. You've tried added some positions. You've got your stop loss. You've trailed your stop loss, to a really sensible place. So even when if that gets tagged out, you'll be up in that trade though. So I'd say that's really good, and just sort of building the buffer that you are building at the moment. And then yeah, really interesting your approach on gold too. I think one thing that I wanted to highlight to everybody at home is if you look at your net P&L, so all your trades and your trade history from top to bottom, essentially, what we can see, or what struck me straight away, is that your biggest loser closed position was $80, while your biggest winner closed position was $290. So you literally haven't broken 1% from your initial $10,000 balance on your master trader account, and you've made 3 times what you've been looking like you're risking. And obviously there's a lot of trades in between, but yeah, just talk to me about sort of that risk management process that you've got in place at the moment, which looks really, really solid.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know if it's even totally conscious, but my my losers do tend to be smaller than my winners. That's partly some of the dumb little trades. Sometimes I have a tighter stop loss, and they get stopped out. But the other thing is, I'm very conscious of my overall 6% trailing drawdown. So I'm always looking to try to have a nice buffer there between defaulting on the account. So for me, currently the way I'm trading it is, I'm looking to essentially get up close to my high watermark for my equity, and then I'll take maybe $150, let's say, out of on a $10,000 account. $600 is my max drawdown, essentially. So if I get up to my equity high, I take $150 out, and then I'll try to trade back that $150 back up, and that'll allow my $450 there to be a buffer in case I do something stupid, get a streak of bad luck, whatever. And then I've got a little buffer there before blowing the account. So that's the general idea: is take a little bit out of the account, but don't get too greedy, and work it back up to that equity high, and kind of just play within that 6% range, more than trying to hit gigantic home runs all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice to anybody listening here. And it's on a 10k master account, so you've not had to stress out about evaluations or take your time with evaluations. You've been able to just access the account and trade from day one, and also get paid from day one, which has been awesome to see. Some great trades in here, Craig. I think my final question to you is, what is your plan then moving forward with Funded Trading Plus? Where do you see yourself in 6 months to a year's time? Do you plan to grow accounts? Do you plan to sort of just see where it goes? What's your thought process on that?
Yeah, I think as my trading skill grows, I am very open to the idea of acquiring some larger accounts. So it may be at some point I'll be like, well, let me open a 100k master account or something like that, and just step this thing up a little bit. So yeah, while the master funded account is not it's not a cheap account, I do love the flexibility.
Absolutely amazing. Great answer, great response. Then to wrap all this up, Craig, we always like to end it like this on these interviews. What's like one piece of advice that you could give to any trader still hopefully watching this video up till now? What's the final piece of advice you could give to them on their trading journey?
If you've never tried one-to-one risk to reward, give it a try, because it's almost a pure reflection. If you really let it run one-to-one, it's almost a pure reflection of your skill. If you have some skill, you will have some profit, and if you're a little bit net negative, you'll have a small net loss. But when it comes to trading with a prop firm, I suppose any kind of trading really, just be logical with the maximum loss that you're willing to take, and give one-to-one a try.
See, amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time, Craig. Thank you for taking some time out of your day while you're actually in some trades now, and the SPX one seems to be saving itself. So good luck with your trades, good luck with your trading, and hopefully we can speak to you real soon as well. So thank you so much for your time.
All right, my pleasure.